All right, this one here is Victorville 2, 2008. Victorville 2, 2008. The Pythons versus the Crips. The Pythons versus the Crips. Victorville 2, 2008. Sit back, enjoy the ride, and let me just, enjoy mines, man. Let me get my little therapeutic, flashback. All right. All right, unique Mecca audio, man. This 2008 Victorville FCI 2. Yeah, FCI. I know I told you and everybody else that nine times out of 10, FCIs don't go hard, as penitentiaries. But some penitentiaries, they may drop out yard, things like that. So, they don't go hard, but then you got the FCIs that go harder than them. But Victorville 2 was a no joke, so y'all understand back in the day. Now, we talking about 2008. I wasn't there. Let me just say that one. You know what I mean? I wasn't there because this FCI's the day. I wasn't an FCI type material. They had me in the maximum security penitentiaries. But, I ran into the homies when they shipped them over there, to Lum Park and different jails that I was in, what was going on. And, I got it firsthand from them. So that's what this is, because I keep it that real, just so y'all understand. Now, we out west in California, and we got Victorville 2. Now, you got 3 microwaves, because they normally had microwaves. They had 3 microwaves, and everybody respect everybody. Somebody in the microwave, somebody call next or whatever. When you use it, you clean out the microwave, and you know what I mean, for the next person, and so on and so on. And you try not to hog the microwave. But we just got, rules and structure amongst ourselves, how we're going to share these commodities that the administrations give us, like the TVs. I'm going to give you a whole joint on the TV, but right now we're talking about the microwave. So you got 3 microwaves, and then you got the shot caller. You got the shot caller from the Pythons. He's using all 3 microwaves because they get ready to have a big meal. So, he got his meat in one, his rice in another one, and of course, then he got his beans in another one. No disrespect, right? So everything is jumping off good. I don't know why this little thing there, but everything is jumping off good, and he's sitting there. So here comes a blood, a Crip. He comes and he say, "Yo, excuse me, can I use the microwave?" And it's a shot caller over there. So the shot caller said, "Nah, you can't use it. I'm using it." So dude is like, "What? What you mean I can't use it?" So you youngins pay attention, because this is how aggressive it get in the prison, man. So the shot caller said, "Nah, I'm using all 3." So he said, "How you using all 3? You know what I mean? There's other men in here trying to use it. We don't play by those type of rules." He said, "Well, that's the rules I'm carrying on today." You know what I mean? So you already know what he deserved for that. Gunshots. You know what I mean? Gunshots. Because now he done told the man, "Yo, screw you, I'm hogging all 3 microwaves. We in the penitentiary, use abroad, and I'm running things because I got the microwave." So this is how my man hearing it. My man ain't hearing nothing else but, "Screw you, you's a coward. You wait till I'm finished because, I'm a Python, I could do that." So my man said, "What?" Said, "Yeah." He took the Python's food out, threw his food in, and just threw his food up on the microwave and said, "Man, get out of here with that crap. You know what that deserve. Gunshots. Gunshots." You know what I mean? The man done put his hands on the Python's food, took it out the microwave. No disrespect to the Pythons, but he put it on top of the joint. You understand? Now, of course, the Python's not going for that. Shot caller was a little scared of this Crip, because he's one of those Crips that look like he lifting, like he been lifting pig iron in the backyard with Ice Cube and Fridays and with Debo. You know what I mean? Man, this dude was like Debo's side, like Debo's, little brother. You know what I mean? He wasn't as big as Debo, but, he was old, big old, California swole, you know what I mean? Boy. So the boy took his joint out, moved it. Python scared to death, so he ain't want to touch it. So, of course, this is what he do. He go back, and the Pythons go back and go tell his homies that, "Yo, black dude disrespected me, da-da-da-da, Crip did this, Crip did that." Now, after he done did that, then now they go tell the shot caller, because we always deal with shot callers. They go tell the shot caller for the Crips, "Yo, You know, your man put his hands on our food, took our joint out the microwave and put it up there. And, you know, we want him off the yard by 7 o'clock tonight. That's the last rec move. Said, yo, if he ain't off the yard by 7 o'clock tonight, you know what I mean? We going to war. This is what the Pythons tell him. We going to war. Gunshots. Never tell a man you're going to war. Gunshots. Never tell a man you're going to war. Now, youngins, pay attention, because I'm saying you get caught up in this easy. Now, this between two men. You know what I mean? But now, that the man that got disrespected, instead of him hooking off on the Crip for doing what he did, he went and got the homies and told the homies that he got violated and that, you know, he ready to go to war over the disrespect, but he ain't want to do nothing, you know what I mean, one-on-one with the dude, which is crazy. But anyway, so now you got all these other Crips that ain't got nothing to do with it, you know, but when dude tells, you know, that he going off on the Crips, the Python, you know, now every Crip got to be ready, because they not going to pick and choose who was in it, who wasn't with it, who, you know what I mean, who's a Compton Crip, who's a Rolling 60s, who's a Watts, who's a Grape, who's a, now everything named Crip going, and 9 times out of 10, everything named Black going, because they don't know who's a Crip and who's a Blood or whatever. They know the main players, but you might just be somebody that's staying in your own lane, doing your own thing, but then now all of a sudden you get caught up behind, you know, something that another black man did. You understand what I'm saying? So now, check it. So dude turns around and tells him by 7 o'clock, you know, we going to war if this dude's still on the compound. So the Crips, you know, they not going for that. So the Crips say, hold up, first of all, y'all don't dictate it to us how to do nothing. You know what I mean? You should have went his mouth. You should have handled it. You didn't handle it, so you a coward. You know what I mean? Now it came back to us, and then now you want us to check him for you because you didn't have the balls to check him for yourself. No disrespect to the Python. Like I said, everybody take a loss. You know what I mean? I even got hit in the head whoop, with a lock in the sock. Like I always do when I say that. Big shout out to the nigga that hit me in the head with the lock. Big shout out. You know what I mean? Big shout out. You know what I mean? I give a shout out to everybody that, you know what I mean, that I got into it with, because, you know, it's all a part of the struggle, and that's how it is. So if you youngins don't understand it and don't think you could have this mentality, picture a dude busting you in the face with a lock, separating your lip from your nose, and all of a sudden you tell the man, good, you know, good when you got that. Yeah, I violated, so that's why I did that. You know, that's being on man time. You know, I claim mine. You know what I mean? I violated, I got, you know what I mean? You know, I got what anybody would deserve for the violation that I committed. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know, go watch the old video. I'm going to find out the number if you want to watch it. Put in the comment and I'll let you know which one it is. Or just put back where it'll say I got busted in the face with a lock. Something like that. You know what I mean? I ain't shit about nothing. Anybody worrying about that, to worry about taking a loss, they ain't never been into nothing. Because we all took a loss. Even your government took a loss. You know? But anyway, so, you know, that's how you think y'all free? You know what I mean? The government took a loss. So, you know, now you niggas is free. You know what I mean? So let's go, right? No disrespect. Let's keep it going. Gunshots. I love my gunshots. Ain't nothing better than a good gunshot early in the morning. Now, so when this go down, 7 o'clock come, now all of a sudden it's 7 o'clock. I'm going to speed up the joint, put a little life in this, so pay attention. If you're listening slow it down, or, you know what I mean, put the little words on the screen to help you. My number on the screen right there. You know what I mean? If you want to call, you know, I answer the phone. Cash App was just up there. You already know what it is, like button. And don't worry about me riding. Just sit back, pay attention, and let's go. Yeah, I'm riding. So now 7 o'clock come, and, you know, it's time for yard call. So when everybody get ready to go to yard, before they go to yard, the Crip homie already told them, nah, this how we going to do it. You know what I mean? And he said, we not going for it. So when 7 o'clock came, and they called the move, and everybody started going out to the yard, all the Crips just took off on the Python. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about going down the stairs, and it's crazy because one of the homies wound up, you know, stabbing 2 Serenos. You know what I mean? He going down the stairs, the Serenos is there, and they was saying like, you know, whatever, but he wound up stabbing 2 Serenos to get to the yard. You know what I mean? But it was with the Pythons. So now, Tyson's roll with the Serenos too, don't get it twisted. But this time it was with the Python. But while he going out there, these 2 Serenos always be with the Pythons. So when homie was getting to the yard, he had to get out his unit. So he wound up stabbing 2 Pythons and 2 Serenos, you know, to get to the yard. So he done pushed the knife, got to the yard. So now when he hit the walkway, his homies already taking off on the walkway. You know, on all sides of the walkway, the joint jumped off. Because bottom line is, the Crips already knew they not going for it. They're not going to have nobody dictate to them what to do, how to do it, or why to do it. So the Crips just started stabbing everything moving. Bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean? And then now the Pythons were expecting to go to the yard to get an answer. You understand what I'm saying? So they wasn't expecting it. So the ones that made it to the yard, they fight with the Crips too. You know what I mean? And now, by the time that went on, remember, they already told the Crips that when they call the 7 o'clock move, wherever you at, you just take off on anything named Python or anything that even looked like one of them, just to be on the safe side. So now they over there, they push it. So they in the education department. Dudes over there went down and do their law work. You know, just straight do their legal work. So they ain't doing their legal work, and then all of a sudden, you know, dudes started stabbing each other. You know, now Python's going at you. You on the computer doing whatever you doing, and the Python's trying to stab you. And you ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You're trying to stay out of everything, but now they stabbing you. So when it's a race riot, you got to get involved. So you youngins pay attention. You don't have a choice when it's a race riot. You don't have a choice because the other race that's moving with against your race is going to punish you just for being that race. They don't care if you with the Bloods, the Crips, the New York, the Latin Kings, the whoever. You know, that's just how it moves. So they get to fighting, you know, they get to fighting, and while they fighting, they also jump off, you know, in the units. They stabbing each other all over the jail. They stab each other, like 200 Pythons. And, you know, by the time they get it situated, it's like 38 Crips that was going hard, you know, because 38 of them got locked up. They was the ones that made out to the yard because they had a bunch of Crips, so I'm going to keep it 100. They also had a bunch of Crips that didn't even go to the yard. You know what I mean? They had a lot of Crips that didn't even go to the yard. And, you know what I mean? You know, if you know that it's something is going down, you must go out. That's called a mandatory call out. A mandatory call out. Big shout out to the mandatory call out. Big shout out. Big shout out. Calm down, y'all. Calm down. Relax. Now, when you have a mandatory call out, you got to go out. That's like a dude say, you know, yo, you turn the TV on me, you know. Oh, let's bring up the John Gotti joint. Like John Gotti, when John Gotti caught the dude a monkey through the tears. I did that video. Go back and look at it. When John Gotti caught a dude a monkey in the bars. See behind me, we got these bars. You know what I mean? And each one of those is sales. So you yell through the bars, but when somebody's talking, you respect them and let them talk. And when they finish and you hear a pause in the conversation, then you holler. You know? But John Gotti called a dude monkey, and you know, right there. That's called for what we call a mandatory call out. You don't disrespect me, so it's mandatory that I put these mitts in your mouth. You understand what I'm saying? That's a mandatory call out. So when they had a mandatory call out over there behind this situation over the microwave, shot caller being disrespectful, running 3 microwaves, don't want the other brother to use it. The other brother take his food out, throw it on the joint. God, shot caller didn't want to fight, so he went back and told his peoples, because the dude was big like Debo, what's going on. And they decided that they wanted the dude to leave the compound, and they tell the Crips, if he don't leave by 7 o'clock, we going to war. So now the war done popped off, and they out there stabbing and pumping in the education department, you know, on the walkway, in the yard, in the units. I'm talking about the other units around too. Because like I said, 7 o'clock is the last call, but this was early in the day, so they had a chance to get the word out to everybody. So now they done got the word out to everybody, and you know, they fighting everywhere. So while they fighting, the police, you know, is supposed to be running out there. So when the police run out there and they see what's going on, they see, you know, about 300 dudes, it looked like, out there pushing knives, stabbing each other. So, you know, what do you think the police did? Put in the comments what you think the police did. You know what I mean? Because this is where they're supposed to protect you. You know? Yeah, you got it right. Some ran to the fight and some ran back to the lieutenant office and act like they was getting, you know, mace and, you know, tear gas gun and things like this, but never came back. You know what I mean? Just like you had, you know, dudes that was sitting in their cells that refused to come out. You know? They refused to come out. Now, for the ones that refuse to come out, so you young and understand how serious this is, so, you know, don't go to jail thinking that, oh, I'm just going to do my time. I could this, or, you know, I'm a gangbanger this, and I could do this. My homie's going to hold me down. Nah, dude didn't want to fight, so they sat there and they stayed in the cell, the Crips that didn't want no parts of it, you know? And then in their units, now, the Pythons and the Serenos got together, and they ran up on all these black dudes in the unit that was still in the unit when it popped off in the yard, because there's more of them in the unit than the couple of blacks, because majority went out to fight. So the ones that didn't go out to fight were left behind like pigs in the slaughter. So here go the Pythons and the Serenos running up in the cells, and they punishing these dudes. You know, they stabbing it any which way but loose, man. Any which way but loose. They just stabbing up everything. Bang, 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 bang. So now they get punished. So now, after they get punished, and, you know, thing kind of, you know, they police trying to organize everything, they take everybody and they start putting them in D block. So now they putting them over in D block, and while they putting them over in D block, they throw them in the shoe. They put them in the units because it was so many Pythons that they was locking them up in the shoe, and it wasn't a lot of room in the shoe. You know what I mean? It wasn't a lot of room in the shoe. You know, where the shoe might have had maybe 40 cells, but we talking about, you know, 300 inmates fighting. So the first ones that went down, they had them like 3 men to a cell. They all piled up in the unit, you know, in the shoe. Or shoe for you New Jacks that's coming, no disrespect. It's called the Special Housing Unit. SHU, Special Housing Unit. So they throw them in the Special Housing Unit, AKA the shoe. See, y'all learn something every day. That's why I said, man, my Cash App on the screen. I don't care if it's $1 or $5. Where else you gonna learn what the shoe is? You know what I mean? And where else you gonna learn a mandatory call out? You know, come on, dog. Where you gonna get that? Where else you gonna learn? You go to prison, and whatever color you are, you know what I mean? If your race get into it with the opposite race, they don't care if you with that person, with that car, with that religion, with that whatever. You're fair game too. You know what I mean? Gunshots. For those that don't understand that. Look at all the game. Cash App on the screen. But anyway, so they put them in the unit. They put them in the shoe, and they already got 3 men to sell in the shoe. So now they ain't had nothing other to do. I'm going to tell you about another Jordan Ray book that happened with that same type of situation, how they had to handle it. 300 dudes fighting. They only got like 40, 50 cells to use to put the dudes in. So 3 men in the cell, so they got about maybe 100, 110 people locked up. Now they got to take the other dudes and put them back in. Being that the Pythons were so deep, they tried to gather them up first, but the Crips was putting it in so vicious. You know what I mean? Big shout out to the Crips, man. Big shout out to the Crips, God bless. All right, calm down, y'all. Calm down, man. All right, relax. Now, big shout out to the Crips out west. So they done locked up all the Pythons, threw all the Pythons in the shoe, you know, and ran out of room. So they started putting the other inmates that were still fighting back in their units, you know, in the units, in their cells, in their housing unit where they live at. So they put them all in the cell. So it was a black female that was in charge of the SIS, you know. So she didn't like the way it went down with the Pythons, how, you know, they tried to jump on all the blacks and was jumping on the blacks in the unit that didn't want no parts of it, because the SIS, they get to look back at the camera, because they got cameras everywhere, and they can see all the way down that hallway behind me. You know what I mean? You see the hallway behind me? They got cameras all down them hallways pointing at everything going on. So she saw dudes didn't come out of cell and Pythons going there, stabbed them, so she wasn't feeling it. So when they put all the Crips back in the cell, she made sure that none of them didn't get no shots. None of the Crips got a shot, because none of them went to the shoe, because the shoe, you know, was filled up with Pythons, you know, because it was more of them. And they was grabbing them first because it was more of them, so they had to get the bigger number all, you know, out the way to see what's going on. But these dudes was pushing. Yeah, I ain't gonna front. The Pythons was pushing too, man. Pythons go hard. Like, we ain't gonna take nothing from them. And you already know that the Serenos is like, you know, the king of the Latin gang thing with the black hand. You know what I mean? They ain't nothing nice. They to me, no disrespect, they the most structured. You know, to me, I'm speaking my opinion. Y'all can put it in a comment and challenge me on this if you want. But, you know, I lived it, so this is how I seen it. And I'm sure all the brothers is watching this that lived it too. But the way I see it, the Black Hand and Serenos was the most structured, you know what I mean? I don't want to say Mexicans. I'm going to say, you know, Latin, you know, gang that's in there. You know, they structured, man. They get up first thing in the morning. They roll up their mattress. They wipe down the bed frame. You know what I mean? Tie their sheet up, roll up the mattress, wipe their floor down, wipe the sinks, wipe the walls down. You know, yeah, this is in the prison, you know? And then, you know, after they get ready, then they start working out. Like the way all them cells is behind me, all the Pythons, you know, they'll yell out, ready, and then they'll go do their burpees. 1, you know what I mean? And they go down and do 1 burpee. 2, and they doing the burpees through the cells, can't see each other, but they know to go down. Now imagine a dude sitting in the cell acting like he doing burpees and he back there eating popcorn. You know what I mean? He yelling, 3, you know what I mean? Fuck. I remember they called a dude one time. He was over there sitting there, and they took a break, and then by the time they was ready to go back, they was like, yo, ready? And everybody, yo, ready? And one dude, yo, ready, with a mouthful of food in his mouth while they were supposed to be in between doing the set. So they knew he was faking, he wasn't working out. You understand? So when they went out to the yard next time, of course, they DP'd him, which was, they whooped him in the cell, for not being on point with the structure. But now, they the most structured that I know of the Latin gangs, you know what I mean? And then, of course, you got the DC brothers. Big shout out to Antone White, man. Big shout out. Big shout out to Antone White. Big shout out to Antone White. You know what I mean? DC's finest. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Antone. Now, Antone, when I was in the compound with him, I ain't gonna front. Him and Minx. We ain't gonna forget Minx, man. Rest in peace to Minx. That's Mario. For y'all that don't know, from DC, official brother. That was like my brother. Anybody, and you know what's crazy? I could sit here and say, that's my brother. You know what I mean? And everybody know this dude was nothing nice. You know what I mean? I mean, he had a good heart, good people, but I'm talking about when it come to handling the business and keeping it 100. Mario was a gangster. That's what you call a gangster's man. You know what I mean? A gangster's gangster. But, that was Mario. But, Mario and Tone, Tone gave everybody structure, so they all go out and work out. All Mario did was work out. Anybody was in the prison with Mario, no, Mario work out 3 times a day, like if it's a meal. But Tone get them up, you know what I mean, once a day in the morning, and everybody get, suited, booted, you know what I mean, get ready, and then they all go to the yard, and all the DC dudes lined up about 40 deep, and they all over there working out. So imagine seeing 40 dudes all doing burpees in sync. You understand what I'm saying? All doing burpees in sync. And, Tone don't like to be, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Tone. Like I said, I'm riding, man. Just sit back and relax and let me ride. If you don't like it, gunshots, go somewhere else and come back later. Or just delete yourself or I'll delete you. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit about Tone. Tone don't like to be called a shot caller, because he believes that there is no shot callers. I'm going to interview Tone probably this week. If y'all want to hear from Antone White from DC, official gangster, and I call him a shot caller, but he don't like to be called a shot caller. He check me and correct me every time. And yes, I said check me and correct me every time, because that's how men do. When you wrong, we call. I'm going to give you another one. That's why I say, man, Cash App is right there on the screen, man, and you need to make an order. I'm going to give you another one. We all could stand a checking when we're wrong. You understand? That man said he didn't want to be labeled a shot caller because he's not a shot caller. He believes that there is no shot call in the DC call, that it's all men on man time. Now, I'm going to bring him back so he explained that one to you. You know what I mean? And I fully understand, I fully agree with what he's saying, but, some dudes is like superficial and they like the title of a shot caller. Like, let me tell you about my man Lou, Homicide Lou. You know what I mean? Lou Sims. And you see the way I just said Homicide Lou? He don't like to be called Homicide Lou. He never liked to be called Homicide Lou. Nobody wouldn't call him Homicide Lou in his face. I mean, we might roll up on him and somebody say, yo, Homicide Lou is, and that's the way we ask about him. When we go to him, that's Lou. You know what I mean? Or Big Homie. But he don't like the Homicide Lou on the title. So if a man don't want it and tell you, yo, don't call me that, whether it's homicide or the shot caller, you respect that. You know what I mean? If you don't respect that, expect to get a checking. You understand? And if you're a man, you accept that checking because you know when you're wrong. So I got to say it. Correct me when I'm wrong. Check me when I'm wrong. I'm not going to take it personal because I'm going to check your ass when you're wrong. And that's what it is. As men, we understand that. You know what I mean? So, like my man Big B. Yeah, I'm riding all over the place. Let me ride. Like my man Big B from Chicago. You know what I mean? Big B from Chicago. I'm out on 80X Supermax with Big B. And, this when Snoop Dogg when them was out and they was pushing that, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks and, you know what I mean? And, on the East Coast, we picked up a bad little thing that we was doing over here in New York area. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100, but we was calling each other like, yeah, bitch ass nigga, but we happy. You know what I mean? So we be like, we call each other bitch ass niggas. You understand what I'm saying? But we're not saying it in a negative way. We say it in a happy way. To give you an example. Like I come out the cell, I see my man B out there in the yard, and we was locked down for about maybe a week, 2 weeks, because something went on with the California MA and the Texas MA was beefing in the whole BOP and across the street at, what's that joint? Colorado USP. And You know, so we just come out because they had a big war going on in regular prison. They just let us out the cell. So we go in the yard. I'm happy to see my man. I got a stack of mail like this. I can't even read. You know what I mean? So I used to bring my mail out to the yard, and my man, Big B, a.k.a. y'all know where he at. Hit me up and let me know. His name is Bernard Goins. You know what I mean? But I used to take my mail out there to Big B, and Big B will read the letters for me. So I got a whole stack of mail, and I'm happy. I got all these pictures, and, you know, he used to like to look at the pictures because it's a good brother that, you know, he generally happy for your success, you know what I mean, or your happiness. So I got a bunch of pictures and a bunch of letters, and we sit there reading the letters and looking at the pictures from the different girls and putting them back in the envelopes. And you know what I mean, I'm talking about, you know, this is the beginning of the bit. So we talking about like 96, 97. I got locked up in 93. So at this time I had like still 100 chicks. I had 100 female girls, you know, pen pals writing me from all over the country, from, you know, different places that I went, and different females I met on college campuses that went back to their neighborhood in Wisconsin and West Bubba, and you know what I'm saying. But I go out there, I'm all happy to see my man, so I say, damn, son, I miss you, old bitch ass nigga. What up, nigga? You know what I mean? Where your bitch ass been? I mean, and I'm happy and I'm smiling, but that's the way we used to talk, me. I'm talking about me, so everybody don't say, oh, I ain't talk like that for New York back then. We already know that some do and some didn't, so ain't know everybody. But it's the way, you know, me and my circle used to talk. Be like, yeah, bitch ass nigga, you know, where your money at? Put your money down, nigga. You know, when you shooting dice and you just talk shit, well, you know, you just talking. So my man B just shut all the way down like, you know, and I'm still happy, and I'm like, you know, I'm punching on them, and they're like, yeah, nigga, yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, she wrote back, look, she sent the panty shots. And I'm having a big shout out to the panty shots. Gunshots for the panty shots. You know what I mean? And you can't get one gunshot without two. You know, when I say one without two, that's like having one chick. You understand? You don't want one car, so you don't want one woman. You know what I mean? But that was my mentality back then. So let's get that right. Because whenever I say that, I hear, you know, certain trolls try to say, but you need this. No, that was back then. Back then, like right now, I'm comfortable with one car. Back then, I wanted 30. You know what I mean? Like women. You know, back then, I wanted 100. You know what I mean? Or better. You know, but that was just what it is because the chase of the conquer. You know? So Big B shut down, got all mad, and that's when, you know, right before the yard closed, when I pulled him up, you know, because he didn't even read the letters that day. He was sulking the whole day. Said he was just chilling. That was exactly, man, I'm just chilling. So right before we go back in, he pulled me up and he tell me, yo, you, man, I'm from Chicago. Big shout out to Chicago. All right, calm down, Chicago. Calm down, Chicago. Calm down, Chicago. All right, so look. So big shout out to Chicago. Like, this how B is, right? B pulled me up. He said, yo, you, man, I'm from Chicago, man, and we don't call each other, you know, the B word, you know? I'm like, damn, my nigga, you know, I don't mean nothing about it. I ain't saying no negative way, and I'm trying to explain it how I mean it. And he's stone-faced, and this dude is, he bigger than Debo. You know what I mean? Keep it 100. You know, this dude bigger than Debo. Y'all from Chicago know I'm talking about Bernard Goins, man. I know he home by now, you know? So he said, yo, we don't do that, big. We don't do that. And I'm trying to, you know, I'm still smiling, I'm laughing, you know me, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Because this is my man, you know, and I know I'm not looking at it in a negative way. He said, yo, we don't do that in Chicago, man. I took that as a disrespect. I said, well, I apologize. You took it as disrespect. It wasn't meant like that, but this is the way, da-da-da-da. And he said, yo, you know, big homie, just don't do that no more. I said, all right, you got that. But that's where you got to respect him, because now if I was to do it again, then he got every right to check me. And, you know, check me don't just mean talking to me, because we don't do a whole bunch of talking in prison. The man tell you one time, don't call him a bitch in any way, even if you're just joking, or that's your lingo where you come from in your geographical circle. You ain't gonna say location, because you're gonna be a bunch of people in the comments from New York saying we ain't call each other bitches and hoes. You know what I mean? But no, some of us did. And we was just having fun and we happy. When you getting that money, you just talk shit. Same way females be like, bitch, that bag is fly. Bitch, you see my bag? You know what I mean? Bitch, did you see that? You know what I mean? Oh, girl, you's a bitch. You know what I mean? You know how you girls talk. You know what I mean? We picked up that bad lingo. You know, that's us just keeping it 100. You know, some of us. But, you know, I'm getting money, so I don't really care. So, you know, you you might take $5 and throw it in the nigga face and say, "Oh, bitch ass nigga, take that." You know what I mean? Nigga got a little $5, you smiling, you just threw some money at him, he gonna pick it up, he happy, he laugh and say, "Yeah, all right, nigga." You know what I mean? And we all just having fun. You know what I mean? Because I done came up. Yo, look, I done came up. I done sold this at 15 keys and made this little extra money. Take this bitch ass nigga and throw a stack of money at him. I ain't saying throw it in his face. Let's get that right. You ain't throwing no money in no man's face. But I'm saying you might throw a stack of money on through a dude or throw it on the table and say, "Take this bitch ass nigga, that's yours." You know, we killed them this week. You know what I mean? Them dudes straight clowns. You know, but and the nigga bypass that because it don't mean nothing by it. You know. So let me fly back over here now. Like I said, I was riding. So let's go back over here. Let's go back over here to Victorville so we get back to this stabbing. So now they got them all locked in the cell and they let the Crips deal with the DHO. See, I still remember where I'm at. Just let me ride. You know what I mean? This, if you're trying to rush, they got other channels that do really short videos. Because when I do them really short, my people don't like it. You know what I mean? My people don't like it when I do them short. So I like to ride and, you know what I mean, whatever comes to my mind, I share my mind and my mental with my people because that's how we do. So now, you know, we sitting there and they put all them in the cell. The Crips don't get charged with no shots because the black female that was looking at the tape saw the way it went down and she knew the way it went down because they always telling what happened. You know what I mean? So she knew it was over the microwave. Dude tried to hog the 3 microwaves. He wasn't going with it, blah, 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 and this and that. So now they didn't get into nothing with that. So, you know, police wound up doing that fight, you know, that brawl. Police wound up locking themselves in the lieutenant's office, man. You know what I mean? Because they didn't want no parts of it. It was like 8 news stations outside. You understand? It was like 8 news stations outside the prison. And then you turn around and, you know, Alabama dudes got involved in it. Chicago dudes got involved in it. You know what I mean? You know, a few other people got involved in it just because you was black and you was out there. You know what I mean? Because if it's with the races, you already know what time it is, you know, and how you got to handle that. So if you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you, you know? But like I said, there are like 8 ambulances out there filled up, you know, with Pythons. No disrespect to the Pythons. They took a loss on that one, you know? Because now, when they in the gym, let me show you how the fight went down. I'm going to give you one with the fight. Like I said, I'm riding. I've already been on here 31 minutes, so this is going to be a nice, good one. I'm going to cap it out after this. I've been up here long enough, and you already know what time it is. Now, when they in the gym and they fight, after they fought in the units, you know, in the walkway, and then they take it over to the gym and all that, they all in the gym, and all the Crips is over there, you know what I mean, lined up, you know. So while they lined up over there, they all got their knives out, so they fighting, but the homie yells out, you know, the homie yell out, "Yo, when the police come, throw your knives against the wall and take a step up and lay down." You know what I mean? So they don't catch none of us with our knives in our hand. And that's how they didn't get a shot when they went in the thing. So it looked like, if you got any common sense, y'all watching, so it looked like they was just defending themselves because now the police is on the scene. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the Crips throw their knives against the joint and they take a step up and they lay down to be handcuffed. You understand what I'm saying? But no, the Pythons wasn't still fighting when the police came in because I don't know why, for the life of me, but, you know, when things happen and you're in the penitentiary and the police come on the scene, very few people keep fighting. You know, a whole lot keep pushing. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, again, you know, and I got to give it, like my man Lou. You know what I mean? Like Lou Sims. You know what I mean? Lou Sims going to push all the way to the end. Antone White going to push all the way to the end. ER going to push all the way to the end. Larry Moe, Law, they all pushing all the way to the end. Because that's what it is. But this is how the Crips wanted to do it. And that was a plan that worked, because if they would have did that, where any one of those brothers or any one of those cars, you know, connected to the New York or the DC car, no disrespect to the Crip, you know what I mean? They would have got punished once they disarmed themselves, talking about the police is coming. So big round of applause to the East Coast, New York and DC, Philly and Baltimore and Jersey, you know what I mean? And all of us for the way we hold it down. You know what I mean? Big shout out. Big shout out. You know, because no disrespect, New York is not putting their knives down when no police come. DC not putting their knives down. Philly, Jersey not putting their knives down. You know, so I ain't making fun of nobody, but I'm just keeping what it is because I just want y'all to understand. So y'all think about how you would handle it if y'all was in this situation, you know, behind bars. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I tell you, don't break the law so you don't have to be in this situation, so you don't have to go behind bars and don't have to put your life, you know, at possibly getting killed. You know what I mean? Because I don't care police coming in now, I'm not putting my knife down for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not putting my knife down for nothing. That's just me. But anyway, but they plan worked and none of them got an incident report. They wound up shipping Pythons everywhere. You know what I mean? The few that didn't come out to sell, they shipped them over to Victorville 1, which is a little, no disrespect, but softer, you know, than Victorville 2. Victorville 2 was like a mini penitentiary. The Victorville 2, they go off. That joint rock and roll. But anyway, so that's the way that played out, man. So I'm going to cap out with that. And if you want to know what happened when they got shipped to another jail and ran into, you know, somebody that was involved in this, or ran into a homie of somebody that was involved in this, and the homie know that the new Python or Crip, well, I ain't gonna say Python, I ain't gonna say Crip, but the Python, because this is how the Crips roll, you know. When they say Crip, tell the Crip homie, you know, yo, Python coming over there that was over here in the thing with us, in Victorville. By the time he go there, he fooled. You know what I mean? It's another race joint because they not going for it. But, you know, that's the way it is. But I've been on here long enough, man. Let me tap out. Let me give y'all this outro, and let's hope they monetize this. I give y'all this video today because that's how we do it. All right. Now, let's go.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26,
yeah.
He back on the strip, getting back in the mix.
Yeah.
What he mentions a gift.
Right.
You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube, you could go and visit.
Yeah.
Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn.
Real.
Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root